Hey everybody, so we're here in the edX conference 2022, just getting started. We arrived this morning, everything looks nice. There's a beautiful campus in the Nova SB school here in Lisbon, Portugal. And well, everybody in the community is here, super excited to be back after 3 years without a live conference. What's your impression?
Everyone is super happy to be in person, meeting for the first time in 2 years, yes. And I think everyone's a little bit excited waiting for the keynote speakers. But other than that, the booths look great, the conference attitude is exciting, and yeah, we're really happy to be here.
Actually, the keynote speaker is right about to start, so let's go.
So we're at the edX conference in Lisbon for day 2, well actually day 3 if you count the workshops. Our presentations have been given, keynotes have been presented, and what's your opinion so far?
Well, it's going very, very well. It's been very exciting to hear what the community at large is up to. The keynotes presented some of the vision of where we're heading ultimately, all that's happening after the transitions from the platform being governed by edX mostly to now edX and TU being part of the ecosystem, but leaving the TCREAL, the organization, and the rest of the community a bigger role to play. So that has been exciting and interesting.
I like that presentation, and I took a very strong note of the homework that we need to as service providers to foster that growth.
Sure, it's a huge challenge, but it's also a huge opportunity, as it was said today, because like the right conditions are in place. So we have the challenge, we have the people that can do it, we have the opportunity, and there is also the funding, because out of the transaction that the edX merge implied, well, there is funding in TCREAL for actually committing to a larger goal.
That's a great moment to be.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, in the other conferences, some very interesting use cases of the platform and different things that institutions have developed for tackling some of the problems that we all share. Well, once again, kind of blow our minds in terms of all the things that can be done, can be leveraged by open source, and they can be used, reused by other members, or can be used as a stepping stone to build even greater experiences and results.
What I'm very excited about is that we come here to get our minds blown, but we also blow the minds of some other people.
Sure.
When we presented the hooks framework, the community was excited to see what we've done, and they were searching for me after the conference, saying like, I want to be on top of what you're doing. How can I join that conversation? What can I do? And so I'm excited about that.
Sure. Yeah, me too. I've heard really positive comments about Sean. For example, the eduNEXT control center has some people really surprised about the capabilities you have. So now you have a different way of managing OpenEdX applications. So that has been really interesting. And also you get feedback from them in terms of what could come next, what kind of features they will be more interested in having, what are the things that we have already in the control center do provide more value to them. So that has been really enlightening in some cases. I'm definitely taking notes of many of those things for us to continue iterating on product.
Awesome. That means we have hard work ahead of us. But it's interesting, it's energizing, so let's go do it.
Plus, there has been the announcement that the next OpenEdX conference, the one in 2023, will be held at the MIT.
So we're going back home.
So it's kind of the conference is going back home, exactly. And that's just so awesome. MIT has a beautiful campus, and the networking and the connections and the people there, it's really thriving. So couldn't be more excited about that.
Let's see what goes on.
Let's just hope that there is no other pandemic-related limitation to hold a super powerful conference next year. But yeah,
it will
sure
be great,
it'll be fine.
And we'll see what the conference still has in store for us.
Yeah,
Awesome.
So we still have half a day of breakout sessions where 4 interesting subjects are going to be talked about, and tomorrow we'll have a more community-based kind of day where the working groups are going to be meeting, and we're going to be presenting some of the things that we have done from the from the general from each of the working groups, and yeah, hopefully that will be very interesting because it will be a place for us to like kind of meet as a community and work side by side
Grow
and
as a community.
keep pushing the work that or the agendas that we have been pushing for the past, I don't know, couple of years.
Yes, maybe.
So anything in particular has blown your mind over the past couple of days?
I really like the presentation by Toby, who talked about building a stronger community and transitioning to a community ownership model where we are actually not just legally owning the community, but actually being the driving force behind it. So that one blew my mind.
Yeah, it has a lot to do with the culture that we are able to establish and nurture within the community. Plus, also it's a matter of sustainability. Basically, either it is done properly, or you may end up in a place where
might end up like diminishing and eventually, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Losing important roles, important people, engagement from some of the institutions. So,
I was sitting right next to members of the Krill who were nodding and like taking notes also of the work they have for the future. And it was very interesting to see someone who just came into the community but has enough experience to read what the situation is and be able to tell us from his experience in other communities what can be done for the better. And have you seen anything in particular from the presentations of other attendees, not just keynotes, that has been interesting?
Sure, quite a few things. For example, just came to my mind the presentation by France Université Numérique, the French government project that has been engaging with the OpenAI platform for a long time. They're presenting something very interesting they're doing for the analytics part of the platform, where they are basically exporting the events and the logs and the things that pieces of information that come out of the platform, but translating them into the XAPI format. So they did a whole work with profiling or building the XAPI profile in a way that would be meaningful for understanding the learning outcomes and understanding the ultimate results that are being accomplished with the whole initiative. And it's a profile, an XAPI profile that it's not linked to OpenAI or any particular LMS for that matter. It's a cross LMS language or specification so that it can be used in multiple places. They are in fact collecting information from multiple sources, and they are processing them in a way that makes sense, to aggregate the information and then exposing them with open source tools to provide these nice layouts and visual dashboards and in a way interactive explorations of that. That is the realization of a promise that we have for a while been looking for and understood. There is not the only group or initiative that is doing that. There are some others doing similar things, and I think we can collectively work in finding the best pieces of each of them and perhaps find a way of aggregate resources to build the best one or a common one. But they have some interesting take in using that as a first step to later build some sort of adaptive learning capability. So try to look back this into the learning experience. So of course all that is projected work, it's something they're thinking about and planning and studying, but it sounds to be something very interesting that could lead to several breakthroughs in terms of what you can build out of something like eduNEXT.
Other amazing piece of work that we saw yesterday in one of the sessions is the Learning Core project, which is something that's being shepherded by Dave Ormsby at Krill. and it is a library that comprises the most essential parts of the learning experience, but extracts it from the edX repository, edX platform repository, in such a way that it can be used as the building block for the experience at the edX platform service, at the edX platform repo and those services, but also at different services in other parts of the code base. I'm really excited to see this moving forward, and I hope that we at eduNEXT can help move that along. And since this is very complementary to the work that we've been doing in extending the platform through the hooks and events and filters framework, we see this as a great opportunity to finally tame the monolith and move into a world where developing innovative experiences for learning is a lot faster and a lot interesting for developers.